The Faces Podcast, brought to you by Telehelping.
So I want to take the opportunity to have you just, who is Cristina? Tell us about you.
Yeah, I'd love to share a little bit about me and what I'm doing in terms of work. But I like to start on the personal side. So I'm actually first generation Mexican American. And I guess that's something that only as an adult I really started to embrace. But I lived in California for life and then made my way to Phoenix, Arizona almost 7 years ago. That's really where I started my finance career with Vanguard for a few years before making my way to Fidelity and then to an independent firm in Scottsdale before ultimately starting a financial coaching business at the beginning of this year. While also doing some fee-only investment advising with a company called Nectarine. So I love financial planning, I love helping people, and I love talking. Just kidding. But I'm going to add a little context because when I first graduated, or right after graduating in 2017 with a degree in business management, I knew I wanted to get into the finance industry. I was working at a startup in Hollywood called Pavement. It was a parking app. I don't believe it's in existence anymore. But then shortly after that, I ended up going to a blockchain summit that my university put on, and the COO of Bitcoin IRA was on the panel. I went up to him and I let him know I was very interested in the space and asked if they were hiring. That led to an interview. I took a huge pay cut to actually go from that startup where I was assisting the vice president to working as an trading and operations specialist at Bitcoin IRA, and then ended up going to their sister company like 3 months after because their marketing team just really needed help. So that's everyone with 5 million or more. There I wasn't a financial advisor. It was more so customer service. And that's, I think, also where I got an emphasis on ensuring that the client experience is world class. And I take that also very seriously. And I think that actually probably stems from working at In-N-Out for 3 years. They don't even sometimes know for sure what's coming in. And therefore I felt like, and it's exactly what I would tell them, garbage in, garbage out. If the inputs that we're putting into these complex, robust, softwares are not true, then the analysis we're going to get is not true. And I think that's just something that I just saw a clear trend. Well, you need to have it quantified. And I mean, this you should do relative to all of your goals, right? Really sit down and attach a timeline and a dollar value to each goal. And then that is how you reverse back into a savings plan. But then you also have to factor in your personal cash flow, your expenses. And so there's just a lot of moving parts. Yeah. And I think I can see why. And I guess another thing that was frustrating me is the traditional advisory space. They don't really help clients with cash flow management. They expect you to have that down and you just come to them with a number that you're able to save every month or a number of assets that you've already saved for them to then charge a percentage.